What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. Welcome to a brand new video. Now today we're doing another car review, and it is pretty similar to the last review that you guys have probably watched by now, which was the Audi S3. Today you join me inside the Golf R, so the original Golf 7R, which is basically the same platform as the S3. It would be interesting to compare the two cars. Indirectly, you guys can refer to both videos to compare the two cars, but yeah, nonetheless, I'm really happy to be reviewing this car. I know I may have done a couple of videos, I think 2 videos by now with this car, but I haven't properly done a review where I get to drive the car as well and give out my opinion on it or my verdict. So today that's all about to change. So let's check out the VW Golf R. So guys, firstly, exterior overview as always. So first things first, I really do love this dark blue sort of navy finish in terms of paint color. When it comes to cars, I always prefer things that are a little bit more exclusive, so you rarely see this paint color. Most Golf Rs are either that very bright blue or white and so on, but this you rarely see it, and I think that's why I really love this paint color. So the front, you have much deeper bumpers compared to the normal Golf or even the R line. Conveniently, my R line is over there and you can see a bit of the differences, but I think the only difference is that on the R you don't have the fog lights. It's completely open for the intakes to cool down the more powerful engine, and there's this chrome strip that runs across the entire width of the car, and of course the R badge right there, which is looking really lovely. And LED headlights are a standard. They are of course adaptive, meaning they can swivel about through corners. When you turn the steering wheel, the lights also turn about just to illuminate wherever you're pointing or wherever the car is pointing. So coming around to the side, the rims to begin with, you have these very silver finished 19-inch rims on 235 section tires all round, and they look amazing. So upgraded brakes over the normal Golf. These are the R performance brake, and they are finished in black calipers. They look really great. So you have an R badge on the side right there. I really love this badge. Silver mirror caps, which are a thing for Golf Rs. So every R has silver mirror caps. I think in Europe you can get them in carbon fiber on the 7.5, not really sure. Oh, again, in Europe you can get these rims in black. Here we couldn't on the 7th generation up until the 7.5, the Mark 7.5, which is the facelift. So yeah, but they look really lovely in silver because they contrast very nicely with this dark blue. So coming around to the rear, so the rear has another R badge. There's no Golf badge anyway, it's just R, and of course quad tailpipes, which sound amazing. You guys will just hear them in a few, but yeah, pretty much the exterior. Let's jump. So interior, this car is packed with keyless entry and keyless go. So door sills are finished in silver, and there is some ambient lighting illumination. No R on the door sill, which is unfortunate. I love badged door sills, but yeah, this interior is starting to wear because these are one of the earliest R's. So I think this is probably a 2014, 2015, and the interior is showing it. You can see on the leather it's wearing down the seats and so on. But yeah, I think that's that. But overall, steering wheel wrapped in leather, it's much more chunkier or thick than the normal Golf. I noticed comparing to mine, there is an R badge down there. The steering wheel is of course flat bottom. The pedals are much bigger and quite peculiarly shaped compared to is that a word? Whatever, you guys understand what I'm trying to say. They are quite strangely shaped compared to the normal ones. They have sort of a cutout behind. But yeah, so gloss black finish everywhere across the front fascia of the dashboard, and yeah, pretty much leather, the entire seats and the steering wheel, soft touch everywhere. You also have ambient lighting on the door, of which I don't know if you guys can pick up or just put the car on right now. But yeah, the ambient lighting lights up. You can rarely see it during the day. So blue dials compared to the normal red, which you get in the normal Golfs and the GTIs. On the R, blue is seemingly a theme. So this one is also spec'd with the dyno audio system, which is the upgraded sound system. So like I said, keyless entry and keyless start. As you can see, the start button right there. So you have your drive mode selector right here, of which it'll pop up on screen, and then you can select between the different driving modes. Eco, to drive as eco-friendly as possible to save fuel, come back, comfort, normal, race, individual. You configure the car whatever way you want. You can have the exhaust loud but the suspension soft, you know, just make it up to your personal taste. So the seats, you have R embroidered on the backrest. They look amazing with this carbon fiber effect finish, of which I'm not really a fan of. It's also on the door cut, but it is great. It looks amazing. So this video is more about if you should buy the early Golf 7R in 2021, if it's worth it. And I think we'll discuss that more in the drive. Let's check out the engine. I always forget to check out the engine. So here's the engine, the all iconic EA888, of which I've already discussed in my previous review with the S3. So this is the same engine again you find here in the Golf R, but on this particular 7R, this generation 7R, it's only pushing about 206 kilowatts. But I think in Europe it is pushing about 220 kilowatts. It's slightly down on power out here because of our climate. It's very warm, so VW just slightly bumped down the power. But nonetheless, EA888 is a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, so straight 4 motor, pushing 206 kilowatts, which is around 292 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. The gigantic turbo sits behind the engine itself, and it's just huge. So mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, VW all-wheel drive system, which is called 4Motion. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the mechanicals or the technicalities. So let's take a listen at how it sounds and then go for a drive. So the 7th generation of the Golf R. So with my videos, I like starting in comfort, just to trying to defrost the windshield. So starting in comfort, just to give you feedback on what it's like to drive normally on a day-to-day basis. So remember guys, the last review we did was with the S3, so this is no different. But what I'm noticing is that The steering wheel on this feels not much better, but it sits slightly better within your hands compared to the S3. Not a big difference, but it's just a slight difference, of which I do notice. So insulation, sound insulation is very good. The car is really quiet. A bit of tire noise, maybe that has to do with the 19-inch rims, and yeah, so basically that's what you lose out on when you put big rims on a car. So other than that, it's all business as usual. So I don't want to make this long, because you guys should remember I've done a couple of videos with the Golf 7, the Golf 7R, and the GTIs and so on. So I think we should now get into the bit that you guys like. For some reason we're in eco mode. I don't know why. I think you can touch. Okay, so race mode engaged, and immediately the exhaust tone just goes a bit high, the revs hold up even more, and I'll just drive it in manual, because when you have it in normal drive and sport mode, it holds the revs too high to a point where it doesn't actually shift, and I want to shift out a lot. So we're currently on a busy stretch, but the road will open up in a bit. Oh, one other thing, I hope the stabilization is really good on this camera, because this road is actually quite terrible. Ooh. Okay, so one other thing, the S3 I reviewed had I noticed a problem with the Haldex pump. So the Haldex pump is the one that modulates the splitting of power between the front and the rear axle. So if it's not working properly, it means the car is basically front wheel drive. So this one is pulling properly. The all-wheel drive system is still sharp on this car, and you can feel the torque. You know, the feeling that pushes you back in the seat is vastly available on this car. No traction light going on. I think that's what I wanted, or that's what I was expecting with the S3, and I didn't quite get that, but here it's all available. Ooh. She is wild. Okay, these roads are really terrible, but an open stretch up ahead, we can exploit it just a bit more. Terrible potholes out here, it's been raining. Okay, so this versus S3, I think the comparison is not that fair, because the S3 had a slight problem with the Haldex pump, like I already mentioned. But I have to say, value-wise, the Golf R is the better pick. Why? Because they are basically the same when it comes to basically the whole platform. The engine, the transmission, power, all that. They're basically the same. But in terms of pricing, the S3 sits or set a bit higher than the Golf R, because remember, these are the previous generations. So the S3 was slightly more expensive. This was slightly less expensive. So I would say in 2021, if you're looking to buy one of these, the Golf R will definitely be the better buy because of money wise. So value wise, this, you're better off with this. But remember, these cars have a reputation of being abused. So when buying one of these, you just have to look out for the service record. Make sure the car has been well serviced, there aren't any problems with the transmission and so on. Basically, when you're going out to get one of these, maybe be with someone who knows cars, and then they can inspect the car for you and so on. If that's out of the way, if the car is mechanically fine, it's running nicely and stuff, then you'll be happy to own one of these, because I can assure you these things are very rapid, and also they are quite easy to tune. So yeah, I think that's something I wanted to address with this video. If you're looking to buy one of these in 2021, because remember, there's a whole host of new hot hatches now, and they're quite expensive nowadays, and you may be looking at buying one of these used, of course. So yeah, I would say it's worth it. This car, and I'm really happy that I'm driving it just after I've driven the S3. Whoa, yeah, the availability of torque is really immense, and also this road is quite damp, but this thing is just gripping and gripping, like no problems at all, no traction light at all, it's just moving. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the drive. I think right now let's get into the POV drive, because I know you guys really do enjoy POV drives. Shut up. So grabby. So let's just So guys, I'm pretty sure you guys can tell that this thing is pretty rapid. There's no flickering of traction lights at all, no drama whatsoever. It's just business as usual. Just pass over the stretch. Ooh, the road is quite terrible. And it has just started to drizzle now. Traction. Okay, it's actually raining right now. Conclusion. Yeah, Golf R in 2021, definitely. If you're in the market for one of these, I think you should definitely go for it. Just look out for problems, because if it does have problems, then you'll have a lot of money to spend. So these are still pretty nippy. They have pretty much everything that you'll need in 2021. This one actually has both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you're pretty sorted, and they're well priced now. So for a high mileage one, you're looking at about 400 to 450 grand in SA, which yeah, definitely go for these. So it was pretty awesome getting to review this car. Really did enjoy driving it. The confidence that it induces simply because of the all-wheel drive is so amazing, because this one is still mechanically solid, and it has about 125,000 kilometers on the clock, which is really amazing. Yeah, really hoping you guys did enjoy this video. Do subscribe to the channel for future content, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.